Hey, welcome to another proven email breakdown video. This is the 19th day, and today I'm breaking down an email by Ramit Sethi. This is a special type of email that I call the complaint email. So we all like to complain from time to time, some people more often than others, but one thing that's a smart thing to do in your email marketing is to share your complaints with your audience. I know this sounds weird and counterproductive or something like that, but it's not true. If you share your complaints with your audience, you're actually building emotional rapport with people. You're building a better relationship with them. And we all know at this point that people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. They don't buy from companies, corporations, big brands. Well, unless you're Coca-Cola or something like an impersonal brand like that. But for smaller businesses, they buy from others who they know, like, and trust. And Ramit Sethi is really good at this. In fact, when I got started with entrepreneurship and copywriting, I used to follow him a lot. I read almost every single one of his emails for a long time, for over a year. And I really learned a lot from his marketing, from his emails. And that's also one of the reasons why I wanted to break down this email as well. This email, by the way, comes from a course that I'm actively participating in. It's called Daily Email Income. It was created by Derek Johansson, who's the creator of Copy Hour. So I'm going to leave a link to this course if you want to check it out, because it's really cool. For 50 days, you're getting daily emails, for you to hand copy, and there's lessons there, and it's really cool because you can learn so much about effective email copywriting through all sorts of examples. And if you combine it with my daily videos, I mean, you're just getting a master's degree in email copywriting. So definitely check it out, and check out the other links in the description as well. You can find a lot of great stuff there. So yeah, let's jump into this one. Basically, the subject line goes like this: death by 1,000 paper cuts. I like this. It's a creative subject line. It doesn't have like a benefit, or maybe it has a little bit of curiosity. Well, it has curiosity if you think about it, but I like the like it's creative. Okay, people open it because like, what? And always keep in mind, when you're doing email marketing, the brand matters a lot. So since this email is coming from Ramit Sethi, and people know that Ramit is going to send them some sort of story-based email in most cases, they're much more likely to open. Okay, so we talked about this in previous videos before. The subject line and your from line work hand in hand to produce that open. Because after a while, if you build enough personal brand, you're going to your subject line doesn't matter that much. That's what I'm trying to say here. So yeah, I think it's a great subject line, and then obviously the big thing here is this stylized image here, which adds tons of personality. Ramit sometimes does this. Garbage can make Ramit mad. It's full of personality, and this is needed here because when people subscribe to his stuff, they also subscribe to his personality. So he has several brands. He has I Will Teach You to Be Rich. He has Growth Lab. Maybe he has something else nowadays. But regardless of the brand, Ramit's personality shines through in every single case. And people either like this or they don't like it. It's a little bit polarizing. Not so much as like Ben Settle or Daniel Thrussell, who's way more polarizing, and I broke down some of their stuff in previous videos. Check it out, link in the description. But Ramit is still effective at this. He's more moderate. But all throughout this email, we are gonna notice that it's just basically a mini rant about things that annoy him. And towards the end of the email, he's also asking his audience about annoying things here. So there's a lot of relationship building going on here. And the main call to action for this email is just for people to reply, which is good because it helps email reputation scores, but it's also good because it starts conversations. People feel like, Ramit is really curious about their stuff. And Ramit is known for personally reading every single one or almost every single one of responses, and also like replying to a lot of them. At least that's what he said a few years ago, but I think it's the same. Like, he's really interested in true customer research, in understanding what his audience wants and what they care about and what they respond to. So by replying to this, you're actually getting on Ramit's radar, and there's no sale here going on, but it's a relationship building email. You're depositing credits into the emotional bank account. So let's see the email itself. Derek, the tiniest annoyances can derail an entire day. So this is just, it's a statement that we can all relate to in some cases. Consider my garbage can. It seems like an innocent household item, but for years it drove me mad. So this sets up the story. And this will be like a mini story, nothing major or something, but it's still a story. And we've learned from previous videos that storytelling in emails, and not just in emails, in sales letters or Facebook ads or anywhere, in blogs, it's very effective. It's one of the best ways to help people shift their beliefs and to prime them to do something later on as well, or just to build a connection. So he starts talking about his garbage can, and then he adds more details regarding the story. So he goes, the shape didn't quite fit the cabinet where I stored it. So if I wanted to throw out a piece of trash, I had to shimmy it out, then jiggle it back into place until it fit in the cabinet again. I know what you're thinking. In the grand scheme of current global problems, an ill-fitted garbage can isn't high on the list. But think about it. How much do these tiny annoyances add up throughout the course of the day? So he just describes the problem. He does like a quick objection handling element, because at some point people could feel like, yeah, Ramit, but this is such a first world problem. Who cares? And then he's like, yeah, but think about it. Like, can this actually be super annoying? That's a philosophical question. And yes, it can. So one thing I want you to notice right now is that the copy here, again, it flows so naturally. This is high-level copywriting. Ramit is a really good copywriter, and I don't know whether he wrote this email or one of his in-house copywriters, but it's undeniable that it flows really well. It doesn't sound salesy, it doesn't sound so aggressive, and this type of copy is having its renaissance nowadays in 2022 because people are sick and tired of all the scammy messages, of all the aggressive, templatized types of copy. So I know that those templates and all those formulas and everything seem compelling to you, especially if you're newer to this world. But just know that ultimately it's about making a connection with people, right? That's when they do something. And sometimes you don't necessarily have to use the templates there. You just have to like share something. This is how most people talk, right? And this is why this email is powerful. So then he shares more relatability, more vulnerability, trust building. He says one or two of them in a day isn't so bad. That's life sometimes. And here he's referring to annoyances. But if I have to deal with something multiple times a day, it becomes a hassle. I can feel my blood boiling and stress levels rising as I write this. Pretty soon it becomes, damn, I want to throw this garbage can out the window. So we can all relate to this, right? We've all had that situation where we're annoyed by something and it becomes a daily hassle and it makes you feel worse about your day. And that's what Ramit is trying to tap into, that common feeling of annoyance, of grievance, of mini anger that you feel when something isn't really working well in your life. So then he repeats the subject line. He says, it's the old idiom, death by 1,000 paper cuts. Anyways, I got my garbage can issue fixed. I went to my friend's apartment and saw that she had this beauty. And then you have a picture with the solution. So notice, like, this is a mini story. It's kind of like a discovery story. So I was in this situation, I struggled with something, nothing worked, I was frustrated. Then I met someone, like a guide or someone who showed me the way, showed me the reality, a truth, a unique new opportunity, and then I got that, and then the outcome is that basically, my days are so much smoother. So there you go. It's a very, very, very simple story structure. There's no dimensionalizing or a lot of emotional stuff here or something. It's a very simple formula, but it gets the job done. So after this, the remaining part of the email, it's basically kind of like a conversation with his subscribers. So he asked his subscribers like, hey, what do you hassle with? And this is good because it's extra content for the email. Plus, it shows other subscribers that Ramit actually cares what his subscribers are saying. And that's also why, even though there's no call to action link or there's no link to a sales page, it's just like, hey, reply to this email if this resonated with you. People are going to reply, and some of them are going to be cool stuff that Ramit can use in another email. So it's kind of, it serves a double purpose. It builds connection with people, plus it basically gives you more ammunition for future emails. So here are two of my favorite answers that anyone can apply. And then there's this one, like mini story from someone, from Matt, replacing an old school outdoor light bulb with a LED light that can be on all the time so that he doesn't stumble in the dark when he gets home during the night. And then the other one from Prescott, and he says that he basically has two sets of cables for when he travels and when he's home. And this is a quality of life improvement because he doesn't have to fumble around with cables and stuff like that. It's a simple fix that fixes the hassle. So again, two quotes here, nothing major. They're not necessarily testimonials, but they add some cool content to the email. And it also makes people feel like, oh yeah, I mean, I can definitely relate to this. I got value from Ramit's email because, hey, I never thought about having two sets of cables, let's say. Oh, what a cool thing to do. Boom, emotional deposit made on Ramit's emotional bank account. So that when he eventually sells you something, he can withdraw from that emotional bank account. And then the last part of the email, what's a tiny problem that irritates you every day? Reply back and let me know. That's it. Simple call to action, but it's effective because we talked about it. Why? And then there's a PS, which is basically an open loop. So I'm guessing this might be the pre-launch sequence for some sort of course that Ramit's selling that deals with like these mental things on how to live a better life. You know, Ramit is all about the rich life, living the rich life. And I don't mean rich by, you know, you have tons of money, but rich in the sense that you live your life how you want to live it, right? And living a rich life can mean all sorts of different things to you. Maybe you just make $1,000 a month, but you have all the freedom that you want, and that's a rich life for you. And you're okay living off tuna, like canned tuna for some reason. I mean, that's super healthy in most cases, but you know, you get the idea. It's freedom in most cases. So that's probably the reasons why the PS teases the next email. But even if it's not a pre-launch email for a course, you know, it just builds more anticipation and more curiosity for the next email. So he says, tomorrow I'm going to share one annoyance most people don't give a second thought to. But when you add up the numbers, it sucks as much as 6 hours a day from people. Stay tuned. 6 hours a day. So do you want to find that out? Well, pay attention to the next email. And then the end of the email is just his two company logos. Very clean, very simple, very nice. And I like how this email is formatted. I like the font that he used here. And I like that the column isn't really that wide. It's relatively narrow. It's just like a letter, right? Because this is how we read. And also on mobile, it probably looks really well. And also one more advanced thing, to view this email as a web page, click here. This is for people who sometimes they don't like to read longer form emails in their email inbox. They want to read it on a web page. So here's an opportunity for them to click, which first of all, it signals to the autoresponder that, you know, people actually clicked, they did something. But secondly, it gives them another way to consume the content. So yeah, that's the email, today's email. Hope you liked it. It's a typical relationship building email with a twist, with like, covering a complaint. And you can also do this, by the way. I definitely recommend you do it. I do this sometimes as well, and it works really well. It usually connects with people, and that's what you ultimately want with your emails. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and stay tuned for future videos, because I have tons of great stuff to show you in the coming days and weeks. Thanks again.